A standard type of family composed of 3 to 4 members is exposed with distinct type of expenses, which test their capability to pay in the right time and in the right amount, and is referred to as financial stability. Financial stability discusses on how well an individual can maintain a normal financial system and how we can maximize all the possible resources regardless of the enormous change of economy, which is one of the major problems that Filipino families fail to address. In relation with this, the study of Hoffman in 2017 pointed out that some individuals are using bank lending to pay for their expenses, and those countries which have higher bank loans are more prone to have higher price booms. Though this study have discerned a strong relationship among bank loans and price changes, there is a need for further investigation to infer the causes which leads to financial stability. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Join us as we untangle the roots of our study entitled
Purchasing of long-term assets, real estate, business, and health insurance.
with regards in maintaining financial stability of Filipino families. I'm Andrea Herrera.
And Landros Gatchalian, a product of Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite.
In 2019, World Bank published a report which states that the implications of a financially stable life can assess and organize risk. By this, individuals can eliminate relative price movements in order to get along with the change. Presented here are the leading components of long-term assets, particularly real estate, business, and health insurance. These variables have been a necessity for every household, with its corresponding cost of maintenance, and there are difficulties in meeting the way of being financially stable, and by that, we were able to determine our research objectives as follows.
For the scope and delimitations, this study focused on Filipino families living in Dasmariñas, Cavite, who are currently engaged in acquiring or purchasing long-term assets such as real estate, business, and health insurance. And this family must consist of 3 to 4 members with at least one working parent to ensure that there is a support for these acquired expenses. Also, this study aims to examine how the acquisition of such assets affects the financial stability of Filipino families as well as to modify their expenditures. For the statement of the problem, number 1, a real estate, business, and health insurance affecting the financial stability of Filipino families. Number 2, what can be identified as the strongest factor in determining the financial stability of the participants? And number 3, is there any significant difference between acquiring long-term assets, specifically real estate, business, and health insurance into financial stability of the participants?
Serving as the backbone and foundation of the study, indicated here are the modern portfolio theory by Harry Markowitz, the theory of planned behavior by Isaac Aschenbach, and the hierarchy of needs by Abraham Maslow. The first one, also regarded as the modern investment theory, explains that investment is a combination of necessity and the amount of quality product to purchase, in which these are the two aspects that needs to have a thorough assessment before coming up into action of buying a certain asset. On the other hand, the theory of planned behavior talks about the state that a consumer should possess whenever he or she will buy something, and it is that he should know his intention first that depends upon his beliefs and behavior.
Adding to the theories given is by Abraham Maslow called Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs theory in 1943. It shows a pyramid with human necessities divided and classified into 5 groups. This concept can be connected to the study wherein the variables real estate, business, and health insurance can be classified into this model, considering that they are part of physiological and safety and security needs and are required by the families in order for them to survive the daily living. Presented here is the blueprint of the study wherein the long-term assets came from and is supported by the 3 theories given above, and the researchers have specified these assets, namely real estate, business, and health insurance. And these variables have been tested to the participants by having a survey with the use of questionnaire, and with that, statistical treatment and numerical findings were given.
Turning out with our methodology, this study utilized the use of ex post facto as its overall strategy in addressing the phenomenon financial stability, while considering the inferred causes of long-term assets, particularly real estate, business, and health insurance. Through the means of data gathering and data analysis, we were able to find out the numerical findings, which help our study ascertain its results. And by the help of analysis of variance as its statistical method, we were able to find out a significant difference among the said variables.
For the sampling technique, we have used snowball technique wherein we have gathered relevant information through acquaintances referral, and the 30 participants were selected based on the characteristics we have set, such as those who are currently paying real estate, business, and health insurance. For the research instrument, we have created our own questionnaires that have been undergone through the utilization of place kappa coefficient. Given on this slide is the questionnaires we have created. And on this slide is the computation of our place kappa coefficient, wherein the real estate resulted to 0.61, business is 0.56, and health insurance is 0.53, wherein all of them have an agreement which is suitable for this study.
Now, let us move forward with the results and discussion, which answers the first statement of the problem. Referring to the findings, it resulted that real estate, business, and health insurance are affecting the financial stability of participants. Looking back at the modern portfolio theory, the responses of the participants are parallel to what the study have indicated, wherein they tend to eliminate the unimportant things and choosing the important ones so that they can control their expenses. Similar when they acquire long-term assets such as the imposed taxes in buying a business, the expenses incurred in having a real estate, and the consecutive payments by having a health insurance. For the second outcome, table number 1 summarizes the data analysis that happened. The second column contains the number of participants, and the fifth column has the variances. And by the help of analysis of variance, it showed that real estate as variable X rank as the first component that greatly affects the phenomenon, with a variance of 0.32, followed by the health insurance or variable Y with a variance of 0.30, and lastly, the variable Z or the business with a variance of 0.21. Referring to these findings, this study have concluded that real estate is the strongest factor in determining the financial stability of the participants, because it is the most important asset that every family should possess, considering the inferred costs of the utilities. Bridging with this, in 2019, Ken Murphy authored that a family who has a decent or at least enough income are more favorable to be financially stable because they can cover up all the expenses incurred. Thus, the income of a family also affects their decision whenever what asset to acquire.
For the last result, which answers the third statement of the problem, this slide shows the computation of our p-value, which came from ANOVA or analysis of variance, specifically single factor. Our p-value is equals to 0.02, which means that there is a significant difference and the decision made is to not reject the alternative hypothesis or the HA. After these findings, it appears to be that the participants viewed the real estate, business, and health insurance to be affecting their financial stability, yet it occurs to them in a different manner individually according to the level of necessity. According to Sheridan and Ansong in 2016, in this world full of expenses, an individual must be able to adapt to this environment to make a sound decision. Just like the Filipino families nowadays, they must be able to budget and allocate their property properly in order for them to survive the daily living. After thorough research, we recommend this to the following. For the investors and Filipino families to know what to acquire or what to invest while maintaining their financial system or financial stability. And also, we recommend this for the future researchers to conduct an intervention to know the effects of purchasing long-term assets such as real estate, business, and health insurance to the financial stability of the future participants.
By the way, before we end up our presentation, here are the references which link to the process of our study. Again, I'm Andrea Miguel R. Herrera
And Lanros Gatchalian,
proudly presenting our study entitled
Purchasing of Long-Term Assets, Real Estate, Business, and Health Insurance
with regards in maintaining financial stability of Filipino families.